Good evening. I'm reporting live from the new frontier of the 2026 music industry. If you're an aspiring artist holding a microphone and a dream tonight, listen closely. We have witnessed a seismic shift in how a superstar is built, and it isn't happening in a corporate boardroom in Manhattan or a sleek studio in Hollywood. It's happening in the quiet, pine-filled air of Meridian, Mississippi. We've analyzed the meteoric, divinely guided rise of Jamal Roberts to bring you a 10-point investigative breakdown of what it actually takes to succeed in the modern era. This isn't just a success story, it's a strategic manifesto for every underdog who has ever been told no. The first, and perhaps most vital lesson from the Jamal Roberts playbook is the radical reframing of failure. Most aspiring artists see a rejection as a terminal diagnosis for their career. Jamal, however, treated his first two failed American Idol auditions as a high-stakes research phase. He didn't just walk away and mope, he went back to the drawing board to analyze the truth of his instrument. During those gap years, he wasn't just waiting, he was refining the sandpaper and silk texture that would later become his signature. He took the no's from the judges and turned them into a curriculum for improvement. In 2026, the industry moves so fast that many artists give up after one failed viral attempt. Roberts proves that longevity is built in the waiting room.
If your song doesn't chart or your audition fails, you have to treat it as a focus group. Jamal's resilience allowed him to walk back into that audition room in 2025, not as a hopeful amateur, but as a seasoned artist with a divinely guided confidence that was impossible to ignore. For the aspiring artist, every rejection is a data point, a chance to work on your Mississippi deep breathing and your stage presence until you are so good that the yes becomes inevitable. A fatal mistake in the current music landscape is trying to be a polyglot of genres without a core identity. Jamal Roberts succeeded because he didn't just enter the R&B category, he created the gospel pop category. He merged the fire of the choir loft with the sleek production of the pop charts, creating a bridge that didn't exist before. By owning this niche, he effectively eliminated his competition, because no one else was doing exactly what he was doing with the same church-bred conviction. Aspiring artists often think that being broad makes them more marketable, but the Roberts strategy shows that being deep is more profitable. When you stand at the intersection of two seemingly different worlds, like country and soul, or gospel and pop, you become the only solution for fans of both. Roberts didn't water down his message to fit the mainstream, he made the mainstream adapt to his frequency.
If you want to be more than just a fleeting trend, you have to find that weird intersection in your own art and own it with a cutthroat level of devotion. In 2026, everyone believes they have to move to a major hub like Los Angeles to make it. Jamal Roberts blew that theory out of the water. By staying in Meridian, Mississippi, he turned his geography into a core part of his brand. His Mississippi peace and the lack of traffic in his hometown aren't just lifestyle choices, they are his unique selling propositions. His fans in the Magnolia State didn't just see him as a singer, they saw him as their singer. This regional stronghold provided him with a density of support that eventually fueled his 26 million vote mandate. For an aspiring artist, your local community is your primary investor group. Don't rush to blend into the anonymous crowd of a big city where you are just another face. Stay where your soul is fed and where you can build a grassroots congregation of fans who will follow you to the global stage. Jamal proved that authenticity is tied to place. The more you represent where you're from, the more the world wants to know where you're going. Music in the digital age is often treated as a disposable commodity, but Jamal Roberts turned his music into an emotional ROI for his audience. He didn't just release tracks, he shared a lifestyle and a legacy. By leaning into his identity as a girl dad to Harmony, Lyric, and Gianna Grace,
and his history as Coach Roberts, he built a parasocial bond that traditional marketing cannot buy. People weren't just streaming a song, they were supporting a man they felt they knew. Aspiring artists must understand that your story is as important as your sound. You have to be willing to be vulnerable and share the truth of your journey, the struggle, the family, and the faith. In 2026, fans want to know that the person behind the mic is unapologetically them. This human connection is what turns a casual listener into a loyal voter who will stay up until midnight to ensure your single hits #1. We live in an era of content saturation, where artists are told they must post every hour to stay relevant. Jamal Roberts took a cutthroat approach to scarcity. Despite massive pressure to flood the market after his Idol win, he famously told his team he didn't want to rush an album. He understood that in a world where everyone is shouting, the person who speaks sparingly is the one everyone listens to. He focused on high-quality, Jamalarized singles like Heal and Mississippi, making every release an event rather than an upload. For the aspiring artist, the lesson is clear. Don't sacrifice quality for the sake of the algorithm. If you put out filler, you become background noise. If you wait until you have a masterpiece, you become a destination.
Scarcity creates value, and Jamal's restraint made his audience hungry for every single note he sang. One of the most technical lessons from Jamal is his insert strategy. He demonstrated that an artist can dominate any genre, from Chris Stapleton's country soul to Disney classics, as long as they insert their own soul into the arrangement. He doesn't just cover a song, he rebuilds it using his own sandpaper and silk tools. This versatility is what allowed him to tour with R&B legends like Brandy and Monica while still topping the gospel charts. Aspiring artists should practice taking songs from completely different worlds and Jamalarizing them. This proves to labels and fans that you aren't just a singer, but a vocal architect. If you can take a pop ballad and infuse it with church-bred conviction, you become a universal artist who can work in any room in the world. This flexibility is a survival skill in the 2026 economy, ensuring you are never boxed into a single, expiring trend. Jamal Roberts treated his career like a business from day one. By securing a record-shattering 26 million votes, he didn't just win a trophy, he won leverage. He used that leverage to negotiate an unprecedented level of independence, including a $13.5 million Netflix deal that provides him with life-changing capital. He didn't just sign the first contract put in front of him, he acted with cutthroat precision to ensure his Girl Dad legacy was protected.
Aspiring artists must educate themselves on the truth of the business. Don't just look for a deal, look for a partnership where you maintain your sovereignty. Jamal proved that the most valuable thing an artist owns isn't a gold record, but the right to say no. Whether it's a $400,000 net worth or a $13 million documentary, your financial independence is what allows you to keep your art pure and divinely guided. In an era of over-the-top celebrity luxury, Jamal Roberts' Coach Roberts persona is a masterclass in brand integrity. He remains a man of the soil, putting his earnings into his daughter's futures rather than a fleet of luxury cars. This responsible superstar image is recession-proof because it creates a bond of trust with fans who are also working-class parents. Aspiring artists often make the mistake of trying to look rich before they are successful, but Jamal showed that being real is a higher form of currency. Your background, whether you're a teacher, a barista, or a mechanic, isn't a barrier to your fame, it's the bridge to your audience's heart. When you represent the common man with an uncommon gift, you build a foundation that can survive any shift in the machine's preferences. Vocally, Jamal is a powerhouse, but his secret isn't just in his Mississippi deep breathing, it's in the spirit behind the note. He treats every performance as a testimony, a quality that makes his voice feel like truth to 20 million viewers.
Aspiring singers must realize that technical perfection is boring if it lacks church-bred conviction. You have to train your body like an athlete, mastering the grit and the silk. But you also have to train your soul to be present in the song. Jamal's ability to use space and stillness to build tension is a spiritual discipline as much as a vocal one. In 2026, the world is tired of auto-tuned perfection. They want the vocal crack that feels like a raw prayer. If you want to sing like Jamal, you have to be willing to let your heart break in the middle of a high note. Finally, Jamal Roberts teaches us that the longest way around is often the shortest way to a permanent throne. He didn't take shortcuts, he took the stairs. He spent years in the pews and the gyms of Meridian before he ever stepped onto the idol stage. This divinely guided patience is what gave him the stability to handle the 26 million vote explosion without losing his mind. Aspiring artists must stop chasing the instant viral moment and start chasing a permanent legacy. Trust the timing of your journey. If you are grounded in your truth and your talent, the industry will eventually have to make room for you. Jamal Roberts is the PE teacher who became a king, and he did it without ever taking off his whistle. Long live the dreamers who have the grit to follow his lead.